If I'm specifying house of worship or any type of volunteer-based workflow, why Ashley in that case?
Yeah, I mentioned support already. Ease of use, like I talked about with Aqua Control, is huge. It's easy to understand, it's easy to learn. You don't have to get certified to buy an Aqua Control product to put in an installation. You don't need to have a huge integrator or a huge dealer that has expertise in audio to install one of these products. If you have a little bit of knowledge about audio, you can absolutely just get started and probably get audio flowing through one of these very quickly.
I know in the corporate sector, which is as hands-off as you can possibly be, they're pushing for UC. They want unified communications, where everything is piped, into one main global system. Dante can help with that, but how does Ashley work in something like a Zoom or Teams room, and how does that work in that type of context?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways you could use a product like this. In conjunction with something like a conferencing mic that already has Teams integration, running the audio out of that into one of our Matrix processors. You can also install an EQZ32 or one of the other Aqua Control Matrix processors, and you can use the open API that we have to integrate with pretty much any other third-party control system to trigger things like preset changes or mute changes, input changes, volume changes, all through third-party control. So there's a lot of different ways to integrate a product like this into conferencing or even a large conference room, or really anything like that.
There's another concept. It was like sort of once you get your audio into Dante, you can do whatever you want. And it's like, and yes, that's true. It's like you get it into Dante. Yes, there are a lot of things you can do. But then past that, for the additional avenues of control can potentially lead to some pitfalls if you're not careful. But being able to have a quality hardware controller like this that is built to be able to work, we know you're going to need to control this further with other things like the Aqua panels, like your cell phone, or something like a Stream Deck or other things. Giving people the API connections and allowing it to be as simple as it is but fully featured is really valuable.
Absolutely. And on top of that, I know I already mentioned support a couple of times, but if you need help integrating one of our products with another system, our service department receives great, feedback from everybody of just helping people get Ashley products into your system, understanding what's going on. Hey, can it do this? I want it to do that. That's what we aim to provide. It's just that kind of support. So.
That's great. Pivoting over to sports, and like sports venues and stuff. I mean, concert touring, those like gigantic things that you guys have been doing for years. Is there a way that can pivot, or can be used in installed sound, commercial sound? Is there a way that can?
Yeah, absolutely.
Integrate?
So our Eco Tour series is where we took some of our latest high efficiency Class D technology and put it in a touring package. But we also have that amplification technology available in more of an installed amplifier like CA series. So we realized, hey, we have these wonderful amplifier channels that go in tons of installations, but what if we want a rugged portable package with that same amplifier channel? So that's why we offer both.
Nice.
Eco Tour is that nice package that has that pro connectivity, locking connectors in the back that you can be plugging in and out of every day on a portable PA system. But then you could take and get the same amp technology like a CA and install that in a rack, and it'll sound the same. It's just meant for a different rack,
Awesome. Ashley has so many products that it might be daunting for somebody to be able to walk into it. I mean, you guys solve a lot of problems. There are a lot of products.
Exactly.
How would somebody choose between, I mean, you mentioned several acronyms there, the CA, the FX. How would an integrator choose?
Yeah, so that's actually a great point. One of the things we launched last year was the product finder on the Ashley website. So if you're shopping for an amplifier, you want to see what Ashley has, you can go right to our website, click the product finder at the top, and you can choose a use case. For a amplifier, you can spec how much power I want it to have. I want it to have Dante, I want it to have DSP, and it'll display a list of those Ashley products for you and help that filter down something that's understandable. Something like, hey, I can now call my dealer and say, my choice is between these two products. Which one do you have in stock? Which one would you recommend? Rather than saying, give me any amplifier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, the cool thing about Ashley is a lot of your amplifiers probably would solve most problems,
Exactly.
which is
Yeah.
great. But you've tuned a lot of them to be able to have different. But I come back to this one.
Yeah.
I love that the AQZ has the opportunity to have analog
Yeah.
and Dante inputs to where you can sort of double dip in that case. So you can sort of make a custom package just with one box without having to buy 5 or 6 different boxes.
Absolutely.
So the FA series is described as like big power and small amps.
Yeah.
So what is the type of install situation that you're going to need that smaller footprint?
That's a great question. FA series has 2 half rack models, the 125.2 and 125.4, and that is really a selling point. Is they are not full rack width; they're half rack width. So if you have an installation where you don't have a rack, there isn't space for one.
Yeah.
You can take an FA or even an FX, the smart, similarly smart version of FA, and you can install those underneath a counter or on a shelf somewhere where something that's 19 inches wide just wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
It's same great high efficiency amplifier technology and wonderful, easy to use DSP like an FX that you'd find on other products. It's just in a smaller, more compact package.
Fantastic. Jesse, thank you so much for
thank
talking
you,
about
absolutely.
all of the amazing technology that you guys have. Like I said, I got to get a couple of these Dante processors
Absolutely.
in my setup because
Glad to be here. Thanks for talking to me.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on how to get these or any other Ashley product, don't hesitate to go to Ashley, ASHLY.com for more information.